want to go out and see your buddy? Fritz, you want to play? Look who's wanting to play with Olive. Yeah, Fritzy. Okay, come on. We had to pick our rug up because somebody tore up the mat. Who was that, Olive? Do you know? All right, go, 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 go. So hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Good morning. It's a late morning, very late start, but for good reason. I want to welcome you back to the channel. I'm going to walk you through a couple of things with me this morning. I am under the weather. Started with Gabriel, and it has moved to me. Things have been worse. I'm not going to go into the details because you don't want yucky details. I'll just say this. I have a stomach bug, and you know, that's difficult to deal with depending on how that's going for individuals. And the main thing is that it drains your energy. And once you get so sick, it's difficult to get your body back. And so therefore you have to go through that process. So here's the bottom line though. The farm work doesn't stop. Just because you get sick doesn't mean you can just quit doing all that you're doing. You have to do some, or you have to know that you have a plan in action with your family and or friends to help you in a time of need. Fortunately, I do have that. And double fortunately, I am not the sickest I've ever been in my life, but it's a little inconvenient right now. So that's as much I think that you want to know. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to do before we go and do our barn chores. We're going to do a divide and conquer. And yes, I'm going to rest this afternoon. I'm going to try to do most of my chores this morning, and I'm going to milk this morning so I can get that behind me so that I can rest the rest of the day if possible and make a much easier day, because we all know that you do need to rest more or a lot when you are under the weather. So we don't want it to get worse or to get more complicated, but as they say, the show must go on. Let's go. So here is what I have found that works for me in terms of stomach issues. Even I always brag about my old pediatrician. When my children were sick, my pediatrician, he's still alive. He's 90. He was my mom's pediatrician, my pediatrician, and my children's pediatrician. And he pushed, like my cat is pushing the... Would you get off the countertop? Excuse me. He was pushing the... I gotta lock that down. But anyway, silly cat. Ginger. When I was, you know, my kids were younger, and if my kids got the stomach flu, stomach bug, he would always insist upon ginger snaps. Ginger snaps. If you're pregnant, ginger snaps. Well, I've taken it a step further, and cabinets are open. Who cares? You're sick, whatever. So I always keep ginger on hand at my house. I have it in the freezer. I have it in candy form, etc., etc. But I like to use fresh. I like to use up my fresh first, so I don't use my resources that are my backup stocks. So I keep a big piece of ginger in my house at all times. I really want to get into growing my own ginger. I'm sure some of you do. We'll talk about that later. That's not my focus today. But here's the deal. So if you get to the point where you cannot keep anything in your system, and your stomach is hurting and whatever, for me, now you do what works best for you, you check in with your doctor, whatever, okay? That's your responsibility. But I just want to say, if you're trying to get your body back to where you can somewhat keep food down or in, and you're trying to calm your stomach down, ginger has been my personal best friend. I start with that. I drink ginger tea often. I love it. It's my favorite of all teas and things that I can make. So you want to sip on ginger tea. Now, I just chop it and steep it. I like to add just a little bit of honey to add just a little, take the edge off of the flavor, make it just a little bit sweet if I can handle it. You can add lemon and all kinds of other things to it if you're doing other things to boost your immune system. What I'm trying to do is calm my tummy down, okay? My dogs are starting to bark. We're getting everything moving. So this is what I do. Once you can handle that, once I can handle this and I can keep it down or whatever's going on, then I move into broth, chicken broth, plain chicken broth. And you always want to move very slow, small sips. If you get dehydrated, my pediatrician and my doctors have always told me you don't want to dehydrate. So I'm fighting that too. So you want to make sure that you can try to keep your stomach stable as possible. And then if you're trying to take in, say, just basic warm or room temperature water, maybe just take in a tablespoon at a time. So we're going to start with the ginger. I'm going to put it into my very, very highly coveted, have you seen everybody fighting over those silly cups at Target and all that stuff? Well, this is as fancy as I get. I think I've had this 20 years. So whatever works, people, whatever works. So all I'm going to do, and this is just, I'm just winging it. All I'm going to do is I'm going to splash around and put in the microwave about, I don't know, a half a cup or so of water. And I'm going to heat it up and I'm going to put the ginger in there and I'm just going to let it steep, okay? Yes, technically doing it on the stovetop in my tea kettle would be best. I get that, but I don't have the time or patience for that. I've got cats fighting in the floor. You can hear them. You're sick, so you're just trying to get to the next point. So that's all I'm going to do, and I'm going to put a little honey in it just to give it some extra flavor. And then I'm going to put it in my little cup, and then I'm just going to sip on it, okay? And then see how I go from there. So I've cut the hard skin off. Some people don't. You do what you want. And then I'm just going to cut it into pieces like I did here and chop it real fine. I'm not going to grate it. I don't have the patience for that. And then I'm just going to heat this up really good. And then I'm going to put that in there. And then, like I said, I'm going to add the honey. And then I'm going to pour it into my rickety old Doomaflacher here. And sip, sip, sip. Okay, come here, you two. I know you want that baby doll. So my cats bug me every morning. They jump on everything until they get their little bit of wet food. Technically, I don't want to keep feeding them wet food, and I'm trying to pull back on it. But this little critter, when I got him a couple of months ago, as you can see, he's not a little critter anymore. This is what we had to do. So every morning, they get a little bit of wet food, and Big Sister here shares along with them, or should I say he shares with her. They're best buddies. So this is a treat for them. So this is why you see him bugging the dickens out of me, jumping up on the cabinet, because he's saying, Mom, 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 feed me. Okay. Okay, so this is hotter than, this is hot. This is on fire. So I let it warm up, and then I dropped the ginger in it and did it for about another 30 seconds. So now what I'm going to do is pour it into the cup and add a little bit of honey, and I'm just going to let it sit for a while. Sit for, 15, 20 minutes. And then it'll cool down a little bit and it'll be ready. In the meantime, I've got to make my bottles and I've got to get my milking stuff done because, like I said, I'm going to try to milk this morning and get that behind me. So this is how we're going to start out the day. You got to do what you got to do. One more tidbit. Yes, I will eat the ginger pieces. I love ginger. So even when I'm done with this, what I might do is come back if I feel like I can. I don't know if I'll be able to do it today. But if I'm consuming ginger tea on a day that I feel normal and good, then I'll have it like this. And then what I will do is I will add cold water to it. Like if there's a little bit at the bottom, and then I'll put a little bit of ice in it, and then I'll sip on that. So I'm finishing off the ginger as much as possible in terms of the tea. And then I do eat the ginger as much as I can. A couple of pieces. I just chew it up. It's so good for you. So this is what I do. You do what works best for you. But this is how I roll to get myself going back when I'm puny. Okay, so I know if you've been following my videos for a bit, you know that I'm bottle feeding 6 babies up in the barn. We are weaning them really a lot right now. So what I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to make them 6 full bottles. And then they'll have their second bottle this afternoon, but I'm cutting it back to only a half because in about a week and a half, I'm going to cut it down to literally just 1 bottle a day. So the weaning process for the final bit of the rodeo is here. So I'm going to fill them up with all of my milk, and then I'm going to put them back in the hot water, let them sit and get warmed up, and then we'll take off to the barn. So we have a new development. Ginger is trying to move into the house. Yes. So we're going to drive up. James has got the rest of my milking stuff for me. Thank you, honey. Okay, this is a major pretzel. All right, let's see. Okay, this baby's got to be put over here. Come on, brother. Come on over here. Good. Who do we have? Oh, we got a double. Gosh, this is like a French braid here. What we got? Y'all are crazy. You know what? There. Oh, we busted loose there. Bust a move. Come over here. No, don't. Y'all. Okay. I had to put the camera down. We got it fixed. They're happy. Joey, are you happy? You a happy boy? Oh, yeah. Hey, Two Socks. She's so good, she's already up here. All right, we're gonna pour in some food. You varmints get back. Some others want some extra too. We're gonna milk. Okay. Let's close it up. Did you finish your breakfast? You smell the milk? You ready to go out, back out? You ready to go back out? She's ready, y'all. So it's raining. We're not getting the storm that you guys are getting up north and whatever. But hey, I did some snow skiing and caught myself. Y'all be careful out there. These sloggers are good. But hey, when it's slippery, it's slippery. Hello. Hello. Oh, hitting everything. Hello. Oh, hello. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Oochie coochie. Okay, so here's the deal. You're going to have to keep an eye on everything with Cochise, okay? I'm not feeling that great today, Turkey 2. All right, I'm a little weak, a little wimpy. I've been in the creek a couple of times. Can you handle it? Can you do it? Okay, I'm taking that as a yes. Okay. Look at my boys here. This is Nuggy, which is 4, and Hishki, which is 5 in Cherokee, and they are the sweetest little nibble dibbles ever, ever. Yes, Turkey 2, you're a sweet nibble too. You gonna nibble on Turkey 2? Oh, what'd you find? A treat. Was it a Tic Tac? Ha ha. Tweety, how you doing, girl? Okay. Did you knock all of your hay out of the trough? I see that. Well, at least you're getting along, as always. Good girls. So you can see how the gutter situation has changed because of the way the barn is made. It's not square, so it kind of goes downhill and then it goes uphill. It doesn't look that way right now in this clip, but that's the way it rolls. So we've had to adjust the gutter. And then you can see where all the digging out has happened. So we're gonna have concrete poured right there. Don't know when that's gonna happen. Hopefully next week. It's scheduled, but that's gonna be weather dependent. Dude, why are you out here? You've been in some fights. Stop. Are you picking on people? Yeah. Bullies and snitches get stitches eventually, so you better be nice, right? All right. Unfortunately, we had a baby hatch overnight and it's fully hatched, dry, and it didn't make it. She does seem to have 2 more eggs pipping. So here's where we are with Miss Blanche. She has hatched out now 4 babies, and she's got 3 that are doing really well, and she's doing a great job. But here's the battle a lot of times, even with chickens and with turkey hens as well. When you have a stagger hatch happening, which means they're hatching at on different days because they were added to the clutch probably after the fact that she was on there broody, that means they're going to hatch later than others, okay? See, she's already in mommy mode. So when her babies get up and walk around or need something, she tends to the ones that have already hatched, which makes it difficult for her in terms of being broody. Now she's back on the eggs. I kind of got in there and messed around because there was 2 big broody poops, and I try to keep it as clean and fresh as possible every day. Like I said, she's back on the eggs. I'm confident that I know I have 1 hatching, maybe 2, and I'm going to get out of here so I can leave her alone. I really don't try to mess with my mamas too much. I try to check on them several times a day, just peek in, make sure they have food and water. If it starts getting messy, then you want to pick that up. You don't want that in there because you don't want the eggs to get in the poop. That's the last thing you want. So it's a catch-22 sometimes, really. The best hens of all fowl that I have ever had that will not break broody regardless until it's absolutely done is a silkie. Talked about that before. Hence, that's why I like to put my girls, if I can, into a brooder. I call this a brooder box. It's a cow water trough, okay? But that's to keep the chicks from getting too far from the mama. Because in this case, if the chicks get up and get away, they can freeze in cold weather, or the mama chases them down and gets off the eggs. Or in the case of a silkie, what happens, a lot of times they are so broody and they go into the broody trance, if you will. If the hatch babies get away from them, they're so devoted to hatching the rest of those eggs that they may not tend to the babies. So like I said, it's a catch-22. You just have to do the best that you can. I'm going to keep an eye on this and see how we do. I'm going to have full confidence that she knows what she's doing. She's done a great job so far and always has. Somebody could say that I could take the eggs and put them in an incubator. Yeah, that's a solution. But I still have faith in her. I'm going to let it roll. If it wasn't Miss Blanche, I'd be thinking about doing that. But right now, I'm going to leave it as is. She has everything that she needs. She's sitting back down and calm and everything's good. She's very patient. She's just a very devoted mother. So, hey, we've got 3 healthy babies so far. This is part of it, guys. Unfortunately, it just happens. I only got a pint this morning. Not bad. I mean, considering I'm milking her way earlier in the day because I don't know what the weather's going to be like later or how I'm going to feel a little bit later. I wanted to go ahead and make sure she was milked today, so I got that done. So I'm going to take the strainers off, put the lid on, and then I'm going to put it in the freezer like I've told you before for an hour or 2, at least an hour, to start that cooling process because it's really, really warm when you milk them. So we want to cool it down. Then after I take it out of the freezer, I'll put it in the fridge. We appreciate you being here today. Thank you so much for your support. As you can see, it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter if it's snowing. It doesn't matter if it's raining. And you're going to find that death is a reality also a lot on a farm or a homestead. We just have to learn to adapt and to just carry on with our work. This is what we do. Like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for being here. I hope to see you tomorrow. May take the day off. Maybe back on Monday. I don't know. We'll see. Love you guys. God bless, and we'll see you on the next video.